It's my pleasure and it's exciting to actually unveil the first of that life cycle. And to accelerate into that execution, we welcome Insomnia to the Kong family. Insomnia is the #1 open source API testing platform. It's incredible how many developers love this thing. This allows you to test in a super simple way any service from REST to GraphQL. And it's open source. And because of that, we're going to tell you the Insomnia story. And please, welcome on stage Greg, the founder of Insomnia. Thank you, Greg.
So, I'm Greg, and that's me. Back in 2014, 5 years ago, I was sitting at my desk looking for a curl command that I'd painstakingly put together just the week before. I was on a call with a customer, and I knew I had just the snippet that would solve their problem. But I couldn't find it. I had folders and folders full of these things, and they all looked pretty much the same. So I had to give up and tell that customer that I'd send it to them later, and I left that call feeling frustrated and embarrassed. So at that job, we were constantly needing to interact with our API in order to both test and debug new features. And at first, curl worked fine for that, but as we scaled up, it became harder and harder to keep things organized, and it wasn't even an option for some of our less technical customers. So I took matters into my own hands and released an app to replace this workflow. I launched it publicly in 2014 in order for both us and our customers to use it, but then something happened. It started to grow. People really liked it. They started sharing it with their friends and coworkers. They wrote blog posts about it, and then started sending in their feedback. So I kept working on it, and it kept growing. And in just 2 years, I quit my job to focus on it full time. I added a paid tier to enable teams to collaborate more easily within the tool, and I turned it into a business. But then, about a year later, I got stuck. I just couldn't keep up with the wide variety of feature requests that were coming in. So I needed help. I needed to do something. So in 2017, I decided to release the app as open source. And the idea was to allow the community to help fill in some of those gaps. And that's worked great. Almost immediately, people started sending in their pull requests to add new features, and had lengthy discussions on GitHub issues about the future of the project. And today, open source is a huge part of why Insomnia is where it is today. So now, over 400,000 people every month use the app. We just crossed the 100 contributor mark, and also are about to hit 11,000 stars on GitHub. And today, Insomnia's goal is still the same as when I started, which is to make APIs more approachable for people like you and me. And it does that in a number of ways. For example, it supports popular API spec formats like OpenAPI and Swagger. It can generate code snippets, so you can copy and paste requests into your programming language of choice and just get up and running right away. And it can even do more complicated things, like automatically fetch and refresh OAuth tokens, so you never have to worry about that again. But it doesn't just stop at RESTful services anymore either. Insomnia now includes a fully featured GraphQL editing experience, so you can not only manage your RESTful services, but also your GraphQL APIs all in one easy-to-use app. And that's a big reason why people are using it today. But even with all that, there's still a lot to do, which is why I'm really excited to be part of Kong. At Kong, we'll be able to dedicate more resources to the project. We'll double down on open source and take the project to the next level. We can finally start to focus on some of the larger things that people in the community have been discussing for a while. So today, I'm excited to announce Insomnia version 7, which you can download on the website, insomnia.rest. And if you have any questions, be sure to check us out at the demo booth in the Kong Lounge downstairs. So thanks for having me, and enjoy the rest of the conference.